Right now, if you go to MEXC, make a VIP account, the link in the description, half price trading fees, and you can deposit and trade to earn up to $20,000. I want to thank everybody for watching CryptoRevolution. We talk about everything crypto almost daily, jumping right into the market. Today in crypto, Bitcoin daily chart. The Bitcoin bulls are right at decision point. Sunday night, Monday morning, looking for a move out of Bitcoin. Now, you've got this shoulder, head, shoulder idea where you see a breakout of this trend line, the down trend line, where you've seen Bitcoin get rejected. Now, right at overhead resistance. So if you get a breakout at this level, you're looking for about $29,000 Bitcoin. If you flip the mid-range, maybe possibly come back down, retest it, then you're looking at range high 31,000, right? As possible move on a bullish situation for Bitcoin. If you get rejected here and come back down to the range low, you obviously have to bounce, and you could put in more of a double bottom here for bullish ideas. But if you lose 25,000, you got buyers down at 23,000 and $20,000 Bitcoin. So make sure, pay attention to what Bitcoin's doing Sunday night, Monday morning. A lot of times we see volatility in the market, even on the 4-hour chart. You've got a lot more noise in here. There's a lot more candles that make up the same exact data. But the Bitcoin bulls are still facing a bunch of sellers. You got the 200 SMA weekly simple moving average as overhead resistance, right up here about 28,000. The daily 200 SMA, right? So there's going to be a bunch of sellers stacked at 28,000. That's the must flip level for the bulls. Ethereum, which we'll talk about in just a second, they got ETF futures launching tomorrow. I've got some amazing shout outs to give in my leverage trading group. So obviously Spot group has been up to speed, had a long weekly meeting screen share today, talking about all the moonbag picks that we are going to be launching in the future. The most important thing is, if you want to make money in this market, no matter what the market's doing, you just have a little bit of volatility. The leverage group is killing it, right? OGN, 320%, 162%, 103%, 98%, 91, 85, 82. Huge gains in leverage trading group. Go to cryptorev.net, use leverage 100 coupon code, and you get $100 off 6 months. Use leverage 200, you get $200 off for 13 months. So again, banger after banger, every single day. Constant bangers. This was a buddy of mine who's been in the group for a while. He said one of his friends is on the board of the main electric company in his county. He says, I'm not into the crypto stuff. I don't know much about it, but they said we're going to be installing Bitcoin mining facilities. So again, this is the electric company of this county in Texas. And they're going to upgrade their power stations to be able to hold and mine the Bitcoin and process transactions on the blockchain. He said, whatever the heck that means. He said that several counties are about to do this. First that he's ever heard of it. First I've heard of it as well. So again, Bitcoin is the future, period. Now, we put in a green September, which we haven't seen in 6 months prior. So now a lot of people are calling this Uptober. Bitcoin, positive price action throughout the rest of the year based on the halving that's coming in April. Are we going to see the run-up, the halving run-up start early? Remember, very common to see like 2 or 4 months before the actual halving to see the run-up. People are positioning themselves now. Obviously, Bitcoin dips or pulls back. That'd be an obvious idea for accumulating Bitcoin if you get the opportunity. But Bitcoin, parabolic price action coming 2024, 2025. Don't doubt it. Happens every single halving. Look, Bitcoin halving 2012, up only. Bitcoin halving 2016, up only. 2020, up only. Here we are, 2024, and getting closer and counting down. Now, you have to be ready. I'm telling you, one of these Bitcoin spot ETFs gets approved, immediately market's going to pump. They'll probably launch or approve multiple ETFs at the same time, so they don't show any favoritism. So again, be ready. Bitcoin's going to act like an altcoin. People are going to FOMO into Bitcoin. They're not going to be FOMO into the altcoins if on the Bitcoin halving news, right? So understand that Bitcoin could see tremendous amounts of upside because all of a sudden there'll be billions of dollars of assets under management. Remember, there's so many institutions that have trillions of dollars of assets under management. Even if 1% goes into the Bitcoin buying pool, this market will moon quickly. So be ready for what's happening. A lot of people are talking about a potential pullback and then breakout. This person break out immediately. The most important thing is the trend line. Once the trend line breaks out, that's your bullish idea for some type of move to the upside, right? You really have to put in a higher high for this to be mega bullish. But even on a pullback, if you come up and you break this downtrend line, then you're looking for upside out of Bitcoin. This is Ethereum USDT chart. So right at resistance, remember resistance, 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 support. Now it's resistance. If Ethereum gets rejected, there's breakout ideas where you could see a move on a breakout of this resistance up to 1800, eventually working up to about 1850. You've got an ETF, Ethereum futures ETF, going to be launched tomorrow. But again, Ethereum is facing all these sell orders just overhead. The dollar index, if you want to see this drop, more often than not, when the dollar is weak, crypto is strong. Stocks are strong. Stocks bounce back. Crypto bounce back. So you want to see the dollar correct. If this thing continues to pump, it doesn't make it, when the dollar is strong, makes it tough for Bitcoin. Not always. Not always. I mean, I've seen points in the bull market where the dollar is moving higher and Bitcoin does too. The stock market needs a bounce here. I think a bounce of the ES1. I think a bounce only helps Bitcoin's potential for upside breakout. Today, we were talking about Gary Gensler and Pokemon cards. So this gentleman, Mr. Torres, he was asking Gary Gensler, who got completely drilled last week. Essentially, Mr. Torres asked if Pokemon cards were securities because people buy them with the idea where they could make a profit, right? Logan Paul owns $5.275 million Pokemon card. If you think about it, these cards are sold and eventually go up in value, and people buy them with the intent that they're going to make money on these cards. Why are these not securities? And so Gary Gensler was asked and didn't really understand or act to understand the question, but Mr. Torres brought up a very good point. He said, if people are buying Pokemon cards, make a profit, why aren't they securities? And then he went on to state, if Pokemon cards were tokenized, would they then be a security? And so does tokenization make these NFTs? NFTs in the United States are securities. NFT projects are getting fined in the United States because they're securities. However, Pokemon cards are not securities. Gary Gensler couldn't even answer this question. And if he can't answer the question, and he's head of the SEC, the police of crypto, he clearly doesn't know that there's no clarity in this market as far as what's a security, what's not a security, because they're using a law from the 1940s, the Howey test anyway. So again, there's just idea that change is coming is very apparent. I think we're going to see a major market shift in how the United States looks at these securities, because they're going to have to put down, basically lay out a lot more clarity, rules, regulations, and these Bitcoin spot ETFs. Like these guys are going after Gary Gensler hard when it comes to the Bitcoin spot ETFs. You got a bunch of major players with a ton of money, BlackRock funds, that want these Bitcoin spot ETFs to happen. And they have a lot of backing. And basically, the entire market flips as soon as these spot Bitcoin ETFs get approved. Banging.